Thanks, guys, Hydral team, for joining today. So we're just going to be hosting a quick Q&A session for these attendees. During the call, anyone, if you want to add any questions, just click on the little QA box down below. And then at the end of the session, we'll be able to go through those questions and answer them for you. But first of all, we'd just like to go around the table and introduce everybody. So my name's Mark, I'm from Stackr, the founder, and do a lot of work with Hydral as one of their partners. We've got Harsh Mittal. Harsh, do you want to do a quick introduction?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Mark, for inviting us to this webinar. Hey, everyone, this is Harsh Mittal here. I'm the program manager at Hydral. I currently sit out of the Mountain View office in United States of America. I work closely with all the teams at Hydral, anything related with integrations, SSO, email, and data security. Happy to be here and answering your questions today.
Awesome. Thanks, Harsh. And Gabriella.
Hi there. Thanks, Mark, again for introducing us to this webinar. And my name is Gabriella. So I'm here in the APAC office in Beijing, and I'm supporting all the global customers that we have in Hydral. So providing product trainings and meeting with our customers here and the business here. So very glad to be here today. Can't wait to speak with all of you.
Great, thank you. And Kiki.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiki, and I am the community specialist here at Hydral for the Mountain View location. Overall, I handle all of our community members, partnership, content, social media. So if you have any questions in regards to Hydral and its community, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to help.
Great, thanks, Kiki. All right, let's kick off. We're going to break the questions into three parts. We'll start off with integration, then we'll go have a couple of questions around data security. In these two sections, Harsh is going to provide us with the answers and some information, and then support, Gabriella will be answering a few questions that I have around that. So let's start off. An implementation is a big question that comes up during meetings I have with clients and quite often in the tech world. And an implementation can vary a lot depending on platforms and the infrastructure companies have. But Harsh, how long does it take to implement Hydral?
That's a great question, Mark. And to answer that question, in terms of deploying Hydral as a standalone product, it's pretty easy. Once the sales team knows how many seats you would like to purchase from Hydral, it's fairly straightforward for us to implement and provide you with the team licenses. That can be done within a day once we know the number of seats you would like to purchase, and that can be enabled on your respective email IDs. In terms of if you want an integration with Hydral with your ATS, that timelines can vary. If we have already pre-built integration with your ATS like Workday, Greenhouse, Lever, or any of the leading ATS in the market, it totally depends on the workflow, Mark. So if you're talking about a one-way workflow, like ability to source via Hydral and push it or export into your ATS, that can be fairly fast and can be enabled within a week or 2 weeks of timeline. If the customer has all the right details to integrate Hydral with the existing pre-built integration.
Sorry, are there certain platforms or certain ATS, for example, that are easier than others with the integration?
I would say all of them are pretty straightforward that way. And Hydral has built integration tutorials for all the existing ATS partners we have. To give you an example, sometimes all we require is your email address and password, which is used to log into your ATS. Sometimes it's a requirement of an email address, password, and an API key combination. So it can be various small combinations which can be easily collected through your ATS admin. He or she will have those details, and once the HireTool admin adds those details onto the HireTool site, those integration can go live,
Yeah.
and then you can export profiles from HireTool into your respective ATS.
You mentioned there's sort of different levels of integration, like one-way, two-way. Can you give us a bit of info on those levels and what they would mean to a customer?
Definitely. That's a great question. So a one-way integration is basically where you use HireTool as the top of the funnel sourcing tool and then push/export profiles from HireTool into your ATS. The other one is a two-way integration, or we call it as a talent fusion product, where what you can do is you can not only push profiles from HireTool to your ATS, also pull/import profiles from your ATS back into HireTool. And how Talent Fusion helps is basically we are pulling all your profiles from, it could be up to 100,000, a million, how much of profiles you have in your ATS back into HireTool with that seamless integration we have. And then HireTool will deduplicate them and also enrich those tail profiles which have been sitting in your ATS with the latest candidate information we have out there from our talent pool of 750 million plus profiles.
So you mentioned Talent Fusion. Is that something available to any level of license, or is it just a particular license?
That's a very good question. So both of our integrations, both one-way and two-way, only come with HireTool Enterprise licenses. The other licenses, you can definitely find those information on our website. There's a distinctive differences on all the plans we have out there.
Okay, great. So if there isn't an integration, then how would TA teams or recruiters be able to move information from HireTool through to their ATS?
Definitely. So in these scenarios, we have a few workarounds. So the first one is HireTool also allows the recruiters and the TA teams to export profiles via CSVs or PDFs, and that way they can upload into their ATS via manual upload. The other workaround and what we suggest normally is share your ATS requirements with the account executives you're working with, and we'll take that information internally and then have a program manager work with you to understand your workflow and your timeline and requirements. Once we have an understanding of that, we propose if it will be a one-way or a two-way integration, and if your respective ATS has the right API for us to build the integration. So in that kind of scenario, we are happy to build the integrations, but that take a little longer than the standard integrations we have out there.
So if an ATS currently doesn't have an integration, you will be able to do that from scratch. Yeah.
Yes. So if the ATS can provide us the right APIs to build the integration workflows, we can do that. Normally, it can take up to 4 to 8 weeks for a one-way integration, and 8 to 12 weeks for a two-way integration. Since our development team has to build that integration from scratch, we need to also adjust the product backlog and then do some testing for the customers before we roll it out.
Yeah. Okay, great. And how do you minimize the impact or any negative impact it may have on TA teams? Obviously, they want to keep working and keep hiring. Is there any major impact while you're doing these integrations?
I would say there's no negative impact. All I would say is there's more and more positive impact as soon as you start using HireTool, or even start using HireTool with integrations. As HireTool sits as the top of the funnel tool, it does not really replace any of your ATS products out there. It's just providing you more access to a very big talent pool with very good contact finding rate and information out there. And having those integrations makes it more seamless, because all you need to do is click a sync and export button to export your candidates from HireTool into your ATS, and it's seamless. Otherwise, like I mentioned before, you would have to manually export them into a CSV first and then again upload it into HireTool, which can be time consuming. So at the end, it's helping you, but with the integration, it all becomes seamless.
Okay, great. And how much information, if there is an integration, what specific information can be integrated to an ATS? How much can you pull across?
Definitely. And that's a very important question. So it depends on ATS to ATS. Some ATS lets us export all the information regarding a candidate profile, which could be their candidate education, experience, contact info, resumes. If recruiters are adding some notes or tags on Hiretual, that can also be exported to your ATS.
Right.
And with one of our most strongest ATSs, we are also able to export email conversations from Hiretual to your respective ATS. But that again depends on ATS to ATS. And we can discuss that workflow in detail once a customer shares what ATS they are using.
Okay, great. Thank you. And we're getting some questions coming through there, so we'll get onto those answers soon. So let's move on now to a bit about data security. And that's, again, a hot topic with a lot of customers too. And so where is the data that Hiretual has? Where is it hosted?
All of our data is hosted on AWS servers, which are based in USA, one on US East and one on US West. And all of our infrastructure is also hosted on AWS.
Okay. Who owns the data? That's another really important question, and something that just about everybody will ask.
Definitely. That's a tricky question. So at the end, the true owner of the data is the data subject. They always own the data. The data subject can always stop sharing his or her or their personal data and request to opt out. Hiretual has all the opt-out links available for any data subjects to stop sharing their data, and Hiretual has all the CCPA and GDPR compliance done, and all the data which is collected are under compliance based on these measures which are following around the globe.
So at what point does the client own the data?
Right. So all the data which is hosted on the client's team is logically separated. So let's say if a client is sourcing for candidates or has any integrations done with Hiretual, both one way or two way. So any data on their team is always logically separated from other instances or other teams or basically other customers on Hiretual. So they their data belongs to them. It will not be shared outside anyone on Hiretual.
So the information that Hiretual is data that's publicly available online. And that's,
could you repeat that, Mark?
So all the information that Hiretual gathers is publicly available data.
Right. So Hiretual works with 45 plus vendors to gather publicly available information. And that's how we have built a talent pool of over 750 million plus profiles. But to answer the question, who owns the data? No one really owns each other's data. It's always the data subject who's the true owner. But in terms of a client's data, which is being synced over from their ATS into Hiretual, it always remains under their team, which is logically separated from other teams, and no other customer can access their data.
Okay, great. Thank you. Excellent. Well, let's the data questions covered off, I think, and let's move on to the customer support side. And Gabriella is going to answer any questions. So thanks, Harsh. That was great. And we'll get on to some questions that have come through shortly.
Thank you.
So Gabriella, again, when talking to a lot of customers locally, they're wondering, so where do I get this, support from? And having a lot of companies have offshore support. How I guess how will they be supported if they are to implement a tool like Hiretual? So yeah, can you give us some insight there on how your support would work for a customer in New Zealand?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So Hiretual has two dedicated customer success teams, both in the APAC and in the US. Actually, in APAC, our main office here is in Beijing, and we established the office in 2019 for the purpose of supporting customers outside of the US. So here, I think is 5 hours difference with New Zealand. So definitely we can cover those hours during our work hours, and sometimes we do prioritize our customer needs. And normally the turnaround times is within 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have, I don't know, have you got any scenarios where you've had to provide support quickly to a customer in this region? How has that been?
Right. So we normally provide support via email, and you can also send us direct messages from Intercom. And so if we cannot support during our outside of work hours, and we also have a team in the US who can collaborate together. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And does the level of support change depending on what your license you've got and that type of thing?
Right, so Hardship provide a lot of different licenses. Most of the times for enterprise plan users, you will have a dedicated customer success manager like myself to support you with one-on-one meetings, with email communications or regular Q&A sessions, product training with your whole team. We also have other options for basic or premium or essential plan users. So these are the plans that are more accommodated to their organization needs, that maybe they're not enterprise companies, but you want to use HeartTool for your own purpose, or you're a medium-sized company, then these are the plans for you. We actually have a page that you can check them out, the differences between each plan. And you can normally send a message to support@hearttool.com to know more about them if you want to subscribe.
Great. Just a little bit off topic, but on those different plans, what basically is the difference between basic, premium, essential, and then you've got enterprise?
Right. So the main difference, especially with the enterprise plan, it comes with everything, including just what we talked about with Harsh, like ATS integration, and you have the full email engagement functionalities where you can send, automatic follow-up emails, and you can also have HeartTool Talent Fusion, which is a two-way ATS integration, like Harsh just mentioned as well. But for essential plan, that comes everything with the AI sourcing. And you can also integrate your email. You can also send email template, and you can track all of your emails and use market insights. But for the HeartTool Premium Basic, you don't have the AI sourcing function. So it's like a Chrome extension. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, great. Great. Thank you for that. Excellent. Okay, so let's got a few questions that have come through. So maybe let's move on to the Q&A part here. So I think the first one. Okay, so probably for Harsh, does HeartTool charge for a standard integration?
So there's no pricing per se for a standard integration, but your account executive can discuss in detail regarding the standard pricing for enterprise plans, and they'll be happy to help you with them.
Okay. Another one here is around security. So in the EU, organizations have to request the individual to share their information. I think you might have touched on this, but can this be done with HeartTool? If so, is there an opt-out option for candidates?
Definitely, that's a very great question, and that's a very important topic regarding GDPR. So if a candidate has not provided their consent to be listed on our platform, their profile will be anonymized, their photo will not be visible, their name will not be visible, their contact information will not be visible. There'll be an option to send them a consent email, which will be sent via HeartTool to collect their GDPR compliance, which will mention, hey, this user would like to opt in for your consent to ask you to use their profile for XYZ purposes. Please opt in, and there will be a link to opt in. And if they would not like to do so, there will be an opt out link as well. So that's the standard procedure for profiles, for candidate profiles which we do not have consent for. And also for profiles which have already provided consent, they can always go to the opt out links, like I mentioned before, that the data subjects are always the true owner of their data and can go back and always opt out as well.
Okay. Are these templates already built into the HeartTool platform to send out, or is that done depending on the company and what message they want to send?
So there are already pre-built templates available in HireTool, a standard pre-built template for the users to send out if they would not like to customize it. But they also have the optionality to customize the templates, and that can be done based on their company's legal guidance, and then can send out the right templates.
Okay, great. Excellent. One question regarding support, Gabriella. What languages can HireTool provide support in?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Our main support language is still going to be English, since majority of our employees are in the US and over here in the APAC. We can also provide additional support in Chinese if that's something that you're looking for. Although our company is expanding very fast, so in the future we look forward to having more support languages coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not so applicable to New Zealand, but as companies do, you know, for example, some of these global organizations, and I know Japan for one, prefer any support in local language. So if an organization had a request for that, is that easily, you know, are you able to implement that quite easily?
I think that's a really good request. I think it depends on how many Japanese users that we would get for HireTool, and whether it would make sense for the company to find a local support in Japan, for example. So that's definitely something that we can consider to implement if we do grow our business there.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, I think that is all of the questions that we have. So let's, I'll just wait a couple of seconds if there's anything else to come through. Okay. Nope, that's all good. All right. So I think a nice short, quick session. So thank you very much, HireTool team. Really appreciate taking the time out to attend this Q&A session. So we will have all of this information, it's been recorded, and some supplementary documents for everyone who attended and registered. It'll be available online, hopefully by the end of next week. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Stackr or the HireTool team directly. But appreciate everyone joining. Have a great afternoon.